WNDS Sports and Tri-State Megabucks present Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Oh, look at this. Look at that. He got it. He's ready to go for a spin.
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored in part by Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan.
Looks good. Looks good. This is the goal.
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is produced in conjunction with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to Park Place Lanes here in Windham, New Hampshire. Another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. This is semifinal week in our annual mixed doubles event. We've seen some terrific bowling so far.
Absolutely. Both teams well-deserved wins, but they had to fight all the way to do it.
All right. No team has been able to win 2 in a row as yet, but we'll have another team attempt to do that today. We have our top 3 teams remaining. Let's introduce first our number 3 seeded team. They got a win last week from Bow, New Hampshire, Dan Brodeur, and his partner from Lynn, Massachusetts, Janet Poch.
Okay, Dan averaging 123, has a roll-off score of 692, and Janet come in averaging 124. Her roll-off score was 575.
And last week they were just terrific in a victory as they rolled a 403 to knock off Kevin Davis and Glennis Mangano. So today they will go for their second win in a row, and they'll face off against our second-seeded team from Manchester, New Hampshire, Paul St. Pierre, and from Methuen, Massachusetts, Deb Desrocher.
Okay, Paul comes in averaging 123. His roll-off score 699. And Deb comes in averaging 116, and her qualifying score was 585.
There is bonus money on the line, of course, for both teams. There's also $100 in the bonus ball contest at the end of the show. So we have lots of business to get to, and we will get it started. The first of 3 games in this match right after these messages. Don't go away. As I mentioned, our top 3 teams remaining, Brodeur and Poch looking for their second win in a row today as they face the number 2 seeded team, St. Pierre and Desrocher. The winners of this match move on to our championship match next Sunday at noon. Mike Morgan and Nancy Hunt will defend that number 1 spot. But the semifinals are first, and Janet Poch will lead off the match. What a great finish for Janet and Dan Brodeur last week as they came up with 4 consecutive marks to wrap up their win. 403. Yeah, and Janet Poch starts with a strike. They ended with a 149 a week ago. They also had a 143 game, so you know they can put up the big numbers.
You see the ball right in the 1-3 pocket. And the 9-8 pin, last one to go down for the strike.
For the double? No. A little too full that time. Janet tried to help the wood, but it rolled off.
Wasn't paying any attention to her. 8 fill on the strike.
And it's an $8. 26 opening pair for the team of Poch and Brodeur, and that brings us to Deb Desrocher. Deb's been here before. And how about a strike to match it?
You see the ball turning, breaking to the left, right into the pocket. This time comes up short, leaving it to the right.
Seven on her strike. So the ladies each start with strikes and each roll 26 in the opening pair. Let's see what the men can do now. First up, Dan Brodeur. Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch, the blue team. Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher, the red team this week. It looked like it could have been a strike ball, but...
I was going to say, is everyone going to start with a strike? But instead, it's a 6-9-10 triangle in the right-hand corner for Dan. You can get by the wood, which I'm sure you'll want to do.
Dan's waiting for that piece of wood in the back, which may or may not help depending on where it stops. Well, if it stays right there, let's see how he plays it. Or if he plays it. Decided to go right at it.
A little too thin on the 6.
The triangle is always a very, very difficult leave to make a decision on when you have a decision like that, because it seems like an easy shot to make, but it really isn't.
It really isn't. I don't like it. I'd rather shoot a 2-pinner or a single with a wooden front.
With no money on the line.
That's right. Right through the middle. 1, 5, and 8.
Oh, how about it?
I was able to split the 2 and the 4 and knock the 10 out of there. Didn't do much damage after that, though. But a good try by Dan Brodeur.
And a $9. That will bring up, for the first time, Paul St. Pierre. And he'll shoot at the 6-10 for his first try. No.
A little too far left. I don't think he wanted to go that far. He wanted almost to shoot right at the 6-pin. Drive everything back. And it will be just the 9. Coming back, the 1 and the 2. And
yes.
Spare.
First spare of the match. Each team putting up a strike early. Janet Poch and Deb Desrocher on opposite teams today, but they were on the same team back in November when they won the 1994 Canadian Championship outside Halifax, Nova Scotia. And there is a spare for Janet Poch.
And he left the first ball way out to the right, but certainly corrected that one.
The other members of that team, Nancy Vestal, Maureen Beeler, Carol Downey, and Peggy Tosi. It's a beautiful part of the world, Nova Scotia.
Absolutely. Been up there a number of times to do some instructor schools. And nice country, but nice people.
Janet trying to get out here, and she does with an 8. Playing the sure play that time, getting the 2 in the corner. Deb Desrocher bidding for another strike. She'll leave the 10-pin this time. That was on a fill left by her partner.
The wood is moving to the left. Give her a clear shot at the 10-pin.
No, just slipping by.
Tough pin for right-handers, the 10-pin. Probably the toughest one of the 10 pins up there. 64 and a 4-point advantage now for St. Pierre and Desrocher. Through 5 boxes. Three and 10. Wants to catch a piece of that front wood as the ball goes through. Like that. Very nice.
There in the 8th. Or rather in the 6th, I should say.
See the pin snap off the left sidewall and come across for the 10. Although the 10 was already down, I think the ball took it out first.
Dan Brodeur. Just missing the head pin. Dan reacted. He knew he had slipped it just a bit off to the right. Still a shot on the 4 horsemen, though. Well, again, missing the object. 10. We talked a lot, Dan, over the years about how important it is to get down low as you approach the foul line and how you can usually have better accuracy that way, and Dan Brodeur is one of the best at it. He gets down low and stays there, and there you go.
That's exactly right. A lot of the problems with people's delivery is, you see the strike on the replay, is that they know by getting down low like that, you're really working your thigh muscles, and it's not comfortable. The comfortable position is to stand up.
Right.
So you want to get to that position sooner and sooner. And after a while, you're coming up as you're releasing the ball. So you really got to fight to stay down. For the spare. And there's that pesky triangle again. Make it a 10. Increases the lead to 13. But now they're facing a strike. Too full in the headpin. He had the right idea. He wanted to go a little bit farther left and have the ball carry him off the headpin for the 4-7. And he's going to go for the 10 box and gets 9. So it's 12 pins now, but Janet Poch will cut into their lead with these first 2 balls.
And let's see. Spare? No. I think Janet thought she had it.
By the looks, I say she thought she had it too.
So it's a 10, and the lead is down to 3. The 3rd year in a row that Janet Poch has qualified for our mixed doubles event. She was partnered with Karen Boutot 2 years ago. They won 1 match before being eliminated, and last year Janet was the #1 seed with Chris Sargent, and they won the tournament. Boy, did it get quiet right before Janet released that ball. And 9-116 for the team of Brodeur and Poch.
It's almost like she was over a 20-foot putt, and everybody just had to be quiet.
Deb Desrocher.
1, 3, 6, 7, and 9 pins. A couple pieces of wood should help. Got to be on the head pin. Looks good. Looks good.
There you go. I'll tell you what, Deb has had to wait a long time for her second visit here to Stars and Strikes, as you see the spare. Slides the fill off to the left. Deb was here 1 previous time, and that was 6 years ago next Sunday, February 19th, 1989, when she paired with Al Harwood. They came in as the #1 seeded team and lost a close match to John Maffeo and Carol Downey. Deb puts up the 9 in the 10th. Close match going. 122 for St. Pierre and Desrocher. 116 for Brodeur and Poch. We'll be back in a minute. Just before we get back to the action, let's remind you about our bonus ball contest. We have $100 in the jackpot this week, and we hope that you have a postcard in so that you can get a shot at it. If not, please send your regular-sized postcards in with your name, your full address, including zip code, and the number from 1 to 10. The number, of course, is the number of pins you think will drop on the bonus ball at the end of the show. Be sure and mail it in to Park Place Lanes, Route 28, Windham, New Hampshire, 03087. If we draw your card and your number matches the number of pins that drop, then you win the cash in the jackpot. You and the bowler each win a brand new set of bowling balls from Paramount Industries. Game 2, Paul St. Pierre. Paul, with his partner Deb Desrocher, leading by 6 after one game. And Paul takes the 9. Paul St. Pierre from Manchester, New Hampshire. He and his wife Maureen have 3 children, Jessica, Amanda, and Nicole. Paul works as a tool and die maker for New Hampshire Stamping Incorporated, does most of his bowling at the King Lanes in Manchester and right here at Park Place Lanes. And he's been a frequent visitor to our programs here on the Winds.
It's a 17 start for Paul.
Dan Brodeur now. Dan and Janet Poch had 2 strikes in that first game, Dan, but they only had 1 spare, and that's somewhat unusual for them because they're both great shot makers. We saw Dan come up with some incredible shots a week ago, and Janet also had a number of terrific shots. Here's another opportunity, and Dan slips by. We had one of our viewers here at Park Place during that last break come up and ask us how tall the pins are. So we had to look it up, but we got the answer.
And it was 15
and 3/4 inches. I would have guessed a little taller, but
it's not the height that scares everyone.
There's the spare.
It's the diameter of the pin that seems to be like a pencil or a pen sometimes down there when you're shooting at it.
Deb Desrocher now. Deb's got that ball working right in to the head pin. That time it was a little bit full.
Try to split the 3 and the 6. And, oh, it just comes up short 4.
You mentioned it's been just a week shy of 6 years since Deb's been with us. Deb lives in Methuen, Mass. with her husband, Buddy. They have a 4-year-old son, Matthew. Deb works for Convectronics, Inc. in Methuen. And she also does much of her bowling here at Park Place Lanes. Again on the head pin, and again a split. Oh, how about it? How about it? Great cut shot by Deb Desrocher for the spare.
No, she had just missed splitting the 3/6 the box before that. And that time she just gave a little more lift. The ball broke a little sharper for her, and she was able to catch it and split that 3 and 6. And Janet kicks out 1, and then the 7th pin for the strike on spare, setting up for bonus money. It looks for a minute the 6, 7 are going to be left. There goes the 6, and the 6 is pushed right into the 7th pin.
Pulled that one left. Trying to escape now. She nearly made this shot last week.
If she makes it today, she'll deserve the $25 bonus money that the team will take.
A little too full that time. The spare strike, though, gives the team of Brodeur and Poch the lead in the match. And Janet will take 8, and we will take a break. 54-4 for Brodeur and Poch. 26, but a spare working for St. Pierre and Desrocher. We'll be back on Stars and Strikes Mixed Doubles in a minute.
Here are the winning numbers from last night's Tri-State Megabucks drawing.
Paul St. Pierre has a spare up, left by his partner, Deb Desrocher. And he fills it with At least 8.
Watch out.
Make it 9. Not quite enough for the strike. But there's the spare. That's 2 in a row and a chance for bonus money for the team. There's been none ones today so far. Bonus money, $25 for 3 consecutive marks.
Wow, that was a much better looking ball. And look at this, the back row. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And some possibilities.
$25 for 3 consecutive marks, 25 additional for every additional consecutive mark, $250 for 3 strikes in a row with an additional $250 for each consecutive strike. And what about this?
Well, I'd play the wood on the left. No, he's going to go to the right. I think I would have taken a chance on that one, but 6 of 1, half dozen of the other. I know I would have taken this one now. That was a tough call.
The bonus money, of course, from Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan. Come to Salem and save. Route 97, Main Street, Salem, New Hampshire. No bonus money yet today. Dan Brodeur punches the half Worcester.
Just when you thought that Dan Brodeur and Janet Park were going to move out and get a sizable lead with a spare strike, right back is Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher with 2 marks and close the gap right back up again. It's only a 3-pin advantage now, and actually St. Pierre and Desrocher will take over the lead again. So back and forth we go.
8. And there you go. Halfway through, 5-pin lead for St. Pierre and Desrocher. Well, let's see what Dan... Oh, my. This is not the best wood configuration, but...
Now, the second piece behind the 3-pin could help. No, not enough for the 10-pin.
Picks up a pin and count with the 10 box. Of course, we tape Candlepin Stars and Strikes right here at Park Place Lanes in Windham, New Hampshire. Located just a few minutes off Route 93. Not too far from Canopy Lake Park, and when you come by here to Park Place Lanes, either to bowl or to watch us tape the show, you want to make it a point to stop into the Willow Tree North restaurant located right inside Park Place Lanes. Rodney Cronin and his staff do a great job. Great food, great prices, and all right here inside Park Place Lanes. It's where the crew eats. The Willow Tree North. A single pin for the spare and a 6 fill for Deb Desrocher.
Same type of shot she had last time on this lane, minus the 7-pin. Piece of wood in between, which may help. She pulled that one a little far left.
And the 8 bucks. In the pocket, a little light. Wood scattered on the deck with the triangle left plus the 10-pin. Just a question here whether you can make things fly enough. No, Janet knew that she had missed it. And it's a 10.
6 more pins added to the lead. St. Pierre and Desrocher now up to 10. But Janet's opposite, an 8 frame. Chance to get those back in a hurry.
Oh, there's the big ball. Strike kicking out the 6-pin. Just a matter of time.
That drops the lead to 8, plus Dan Brodeur will be filling that strike, so you can say this match is just about dead even.
And that's the 4th strike for the team already. Paul St. Pierre is drilling it right through the middle. Gets the 10-pin to go, so he saves the spread eagle, but And the 10.
104 through 9.
The runner-up team in this match will take home third-place prize money of $250 to be split among the team, and, of course, whatever bonus money they accumulate. And how about that for a leave on that ball?
Wow, that ball's a great ball. He scrambled 8, and just leaves a 7-8, no wood.
Someone said something to Paul. He got a big chuckle out of it as he turned around. Good concentration for the 10, picking up 2 singles. And it's a 114, a 2-game total of 236 for Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher. They have the lead at the moment, but that could change. Dan Brodeur working on the strike left by his partner. Pulls it off the headpin.
4 horsemen right. 1, 3, 6, 10. No wood. This to go spare on strike. Oh
no.
How did the 10-pin stay up?
The 9 fill, though, does give Dan and Janet the lead for the moment. By 1. A 1-pin lead in the match.
A little short with that one. Left it off to the right. The 1, 2, 10.
No.
Well, one of these will be tied. 2 of them, you'll maintain that 1-pin advantage.
That's it. The 9, a 120, 236 for Brodeur and Poch, and it is dead even with 1 game to go here on Stars and Strikes. We'll be back in a minute. The match is tied with 1 game to go. Dan Brodeur will start game 3. He's on the head pin this time, but look at the leave.
2 and 6. And no wood really to help.
And the 10 bucks. You get the feeling that maybe a 10 bucks or 2 could be very important in this match.
I think so. Haven't had a lot of pins standing.
This game, we're having the bowlers roll consecutive boxes on the same lane, and Dan started to change lanes and then came back. He knew that.
Trying to split this 3 and a 6. And, ooh, pretty close. But no spare to show for it, but as you said, 10 boxes are going to be important. I started to say we haven't had a lot of pins standing in the whole match for either team. And that's another 10.
No, both teams pinning well. Not a lot of marks on the board. Brodeur and Poch have 6. 4 of them are strikes. St. Pierre and Desrocher have 7. Only 1 strike for them. And that was in the first box of the match. Oh, Paul St. Pierre gets his first strike of the day.
He buried one at the end of the last game. He left the 7 and 8, and he almost had those same 2 pins there. But he was able to knock those down for the strike. Looking for the double. Almost. 3 and 5. 2 and 5 left.
Yes. Spare on strike. Be a chance for bonus money next time up for the team. And they break into the lead here in game 3. Janet Poch, look out, look out!
Oh, yes.
Oh, had the 5, 6, and 10, and they fell in that order.
Let's take a look. Here's the good-looking ball. Trips the 5 into the 6 and into the 10. Exactly what you said, Doc. You're paying attention.
It's 5 strikes for the team already.
Janet looking for the double. A little light this time. She's going to need some help. But a makeable spare leave in the 3, 4, 7, and 8. Front pin, though. 2 pin, I should say. Right there.
Oh.
I was going to say it's going to jump around the 4 pin. And Janet thought she should have had that, as well as many other people in the audience.
That'll be a 10. Let's see what happened. Watch the 4 pin. Yep.
I started to say, with the angle that wood behind the 2 pin, that pin was going right to the sidewall.
On a spare, Deb Desrocher looking for bonus money and needs the kick out. Doesn't get it.
Well, she's made one of these before, so hang on. She's got to hurry. Well, just didn't break far enough left for her.
Good 9. A 6-pin lead right now. The match all even coming in. This is game 3 to decide it, to determine which team will head into the finals next week against Mike Morgan and Nancy Hunt.
Well, that's that wood to stay out front, so maybe she can carom the ball off that for the 7 pin. And she's still going to have trouble with the 9, but no, it's too high.
Nope.
A little further left.
Well, this thing has been single digits apart pretty much start to finish, and it still is. With 6 boxes to go, St. Pierre and Desrocher lead by 5. We'll be back to decide it here on Stars and Strikes in a minute. A look at Dan Brodeur as we resume game 3. Very tight match here in the semifinals. No bonus money yet in this match. Oh, yeah. I was just about to say, Dan, that it's still surprising. Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch, that's the 25th box they've rolled. This is only their 3rd spare.
And that was no easy task. We took out 3 pins with the first ball, but cleaned them up for the spare.
That was the bad news. The good news is we're still right in this thing. Very much so. Well, now the 5, 6, and 10. And with the wood getting more in play. I don't know. Play the extreme left edge, maybe?
Well, you know, I know he's probably going to play the wood in front of the 6-10, but I don't see anything there. I think I'd have to play the front one somehow. That's what he's going to try.
Yeah.
And the same thing probably would have happened to me, but I just, you know, I've seen this leave too many times,
right.
And it just, nothing happens there. And you got to gamble that second ball. I don't think Dan wanted to hit it where he did. He probably wanted a little more on the end of that front piece, but...
So it's a 9, but the mark up, and that's important right now with Brodeur and Poch trailing. So they get something on the board. St. Pierre and Desrocher with the last at bat here. As we mentioned, the teams have the option who they want to get the extra 2 boxes in the 3rd game, and both teams elected to have the guys go first. So they'll finish up. Remember we talked earlier about how important each pin is? Well, that's how close it is right now.
Back and forth we go. Brodeur and Poch now have the lead by 3.
Paul comes up just short of the head pin, but he'll shoot at the 1-2-4 spare opportunity. And there it is.
So the lead now just 2, and depending on the fill, looks like St. Pierre and Desrocher will take the lead back.
So we come now to the final rotation. 2 boxes left for each bowler. Janet Poch and Dan Brodeur used this point to get real hot last week. Let's see what happens today. Janet has a spare lead.
2-4 are left for Janet. And you're right, last week 4 marks in a row going out.
Oh my. The 10 for Janet.
85.
This week, though, Dan and Janet are rolling first. Last week they had the last at bat themselves. Janet right in the pocket again. Can't get the kick on the 10 pin. Wow.
2, 4, 5, and 10. No wood. Just got to concentrate on the 2 pin, and hopefully you'll get the triangle and then the extra one, and she's right on the 2 pin. Can't let your concentration level drop. Even though you miss a mark, you've got to get every pin, every ball. So that's just 18 pins, those 2 boxes. So, well, there's a real important ball in the match.
Yep.
This could be it.
Good spot here for Deb Desrocher.
Especially when she's opposite 2 open frames.
The team takes the lead with that fill. It's 7.
And a makeable spare lead. The 1, the 3, and the 10. No wood. Well, I should say, wait a minute. There's one coming back now. Which, you know, I don't think she wants that wooden play, because that's going to send the ball. Now, it's going to be far enough to the left.
If it eventually stops over there.
She's just got to be thinking head pin. You don't want to go by that pin.
Oh, yes. What a shot.
That was a clutch mark by Deb Desrocher.
Especially after the wait.
Couldn't have been any better.
That's 11 marks for the team now. And the lead may go into double figures with 2 boxes to go.
Whoops. Well, made a mistake, but enough of a mistake instead of getting the half Worcester, drop 6, which does just what you said, Doug, put it into double figures. So it means Dan Bro's going to have to come up with a double mark and maybe a double strike. Bonus money.
First of the day, $25 in bonus money for Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher. Deb wraps up her efforts for the day with a couple of big, big spares.
Well, Dan's got to be thinking 2 marks, and then it's going to need a little help from Paul by not filling that last mark with much of a fill. But first order of business is to get a couple marks. He's going to shoot at the 3, 6, and 10.
Dan seems to have been having trouble all day long with the head pin. He was on it there, but he was very light.
Well, again, you got to be thinking, I got to have the 3. I missed the 3 pin. No, he's too far right.
Nope.
And now his only hope now is to throw double strike.
.103 through 9. You see St. Pierre and Desrocher already at 106, not including the fill. So it's going to be a tall order, even if Dan were to strike out here in the 10th.
Difference of this week and last week, they're open the last 4 boxes. Last week, they had, well, he's still alive.
We've seen it happen before, haven't we?
Absolutely.
We have seen it happen before.
It's never over till it's over. Pesty 4 pin, and it's going to go down. Push that one a little bit.
Well, I got to, I hate to be redundant, Dan, but I got to return to one of our familiar themes here.
Good point.
As soon as Dan
I know
finishes
exactly
this
what
box.
you're going to say. And you're absolutely right. Happens more times than not. But I won't steal your thunder.
Dan trying to convert this for a spare to finish it out. The 1, 3, 7, and 8, and he does. For 20 in the 10th, but that won't be enough. And the point I was going to make was 10 marks for Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch, but only 4 spares. They had 6 strikes and only 4 spares. And more often than not, it seems when an individual or a team has more strikes than spares, generally the score is not as high because, of course, for the most part, the strikes don't tend to cluster together as the spares do.
That's right.
And it's kind of like throwing for 300 yards in football. It's not always a good thing.
Yeah, he throws for 300 yards in between the two 20-yard lines.
That's
it's not
right.
doing you any good.
That's another $25 in bonus money right there for Paul St. Pierre with room for more. And they've already won the match, or they will with this ball.
And they're doing what Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch did last week, finishing with a flurry. And a big flurry it is.
Wow. That's 25 more. And there's room for a little more. Now, on the other side of the scoreboard, right now, we have Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher with 11 spares and 3 strikes, which is more of the normal ratio you like to see. And there's a double! Oh, $25 more, and he's got an opportunity for 250 more if he can throw another one. Wow.
Paul's making the gesture. He's filling one pocket. He went to the other side now. He's going to fill the other pocket.
For an extra $250 just off target. So it'll be a 5, 25 pins in the final box, a 158 for Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher. They finished with 6 consecutive marks, earning themselves some bonus money and a trip to the finals next week. We'll be back in a minute. Oh, welcome back. The semifinal match in the books here at Park Place Lanes. Glad you could join us for this week's program. Doug Brown back along with Dan Murphy, and terrific match. It was close right to the end. The final score a little bit deceiving, but boy, a big run at the end.
Almost like they were talking among each other. Let's keep this in signal figures until we get toward the end, and then Paul decided to wake-up call and turned it on in the end.
With a little help from his partner.
Well, his partner said he was getting awful heavy, and he says, yeah, they start producing. I'm trading you in. But they both well.
All right, let's meet both teams. First of all, a round of applause for Janet Poch and Dan Brodeur. Our runners-up today, they'll take home third-place prize money. They'll split $250, and they had some bonus money as well from last week, so a pretty good payday, and not the ultimate result that you wanted, but boy, this time you had done to you what you did last week.
Yeah, we did.
Well, I know Deb's your friend and everything, so you don't mind getting beaten by a friend. Right?
No, I don't.
Okay. Right. Oh, terrific match nonetheless. Boy, it seemed like nobody could get anything really started there until the end.
Not really, no. And Paul just informed me that if we're up here now, that means we can't bowl again, right?
Ever? Is that?
Oh, no, just now. No, it was great, man. They deserve a lot of credit. Well, they put us away at the end for sure.
Well, you guys had a terrific match last week. Congratulations. Good to see you both again, and I'm sure we'll be talking again very soon.
Thanks.
Congratulations to Janet and to Dan. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. And now we will have our bonus ball contest, which has reached triple figures again. We're up to $100, and Paul St. Pierre will do the honors for our winning team. We're looking for a match, give away some brand new bowling balls and some cash as well. Uh-oh! He just can't stop throwing the strikes.
Well, once Debbie spoke to him, he'd find out what he had to do.
So it's another strike. Ho-hum. Come on over, and we'll chat here in a second. It's not a match for Sarah Wojciechowski. I hope that's close, Sarah. From Salem, New Hampshire, is that right? I'm told that she bowls here at Park Place Lane. So, Sarah, unfortunately, not a match, but we'll be sending you a gift as a consolation prize. We'll be up to $110 next week. Well, congratulations. That was a terrific match, and, boy, right to the finish before you guys finally got busy.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous.
Well, now, I got to find out about this. Now, you were joking around. You said you were nervous before the match. Now, you've been here on TV before. It has been a little while, right? But then you get up, and your first ball is a strike.
Lucky.
Well, that's going to make you a little less nervous,
Yeah,
though.
a little less.
Yeah.
A little less. I had a
then-
good partner.
Yeah, and then you get the marks in the 7th and the 8th to set up Paul, and then the big finish.
I woke up a little. She was carrying me the first two, and I decided to show up again.
All right, well, what do you think? Next week we have Mike Morgan and Nancy Hunt coming in. I know you're familiar with both of them.
It'll be a tough match.
Very tough match.
We're looking forward to it. Championship week next Sunday. We'll see you then. Thanks very much. This round of applause for you. Deb Desrocher and Paul St. Pierre. They move into the finals next week, and we are left with our top 2 seeded teams as we check the board. Nobody's been able to win 2 in a row. Will Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher be able to do it? They'll have to knock off Mike Morgan and Nancy Hunt.
It looks like it's going to take a 400 triple to win one of these matches, and we're trying to get somebody to win 2 in a row.
Well, a terrific 158 today to settle it all for Paul St. Pierre and Deb Desrocher as they record a 394 to beat Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch with a 359. Don't forget, next Saturday at noon from the Londonderry Bowling Center, we'll have another edition of Candlepin Skins. And next Sunday, championship week in mixed doubles here on Stars and Strikes. Dan and I will be back for that one. We hope you will be too. Until then, for the whole crew here at the Winds, I'm Doug Brown. Have a good week, everybody.